Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from Malachias, and he is in the Gadjah Mada. And I'm terribly sorry, I don't know how to pronounce either of those names, so I'm probably getting them horribly wrong. Now he is on the map Trident in a standard battle. It's tier 7, so that's nice, but there is a carrier that's always dangerous for destroyer. The friendly team has one more destroyer, but in a standard battle that doesn't matter all that much. Well, standard battles are honestly... I personally find them pretty boring most of the time to play them. But obviously this was an exciting replay or I wouldn't be showing it. Now also I apologize, there is some slight lag in there sometimes, and with the current version of World of Warships this is unfortunately pretty common in replays. I mean, there are some that are barely watchable, I suppose, some are almost fine or actually fine, and I don't know. I just hope Wargaming gets the stuff together and manages to fix the FPS issues we have, but anyway. Now Malachias here has taken a very aggressive position. He is now sitting inside his smoke and he is opening fire upon enemy ships, and looks like he will be able to finish off that cruiser here. Now the friendly team is in a very defensive position, which in a standard battle is not that surprising. There's first blood, well, about 4 minutes into the game. Just because when there is no objective to fight, you really don't have much reason to push, right? What you want to do is you want to be in a position where you have some cover, I suppose. So there is some reason to move from your spawn. But other than that, it's like... you aren't fighting or anything, right? So why make an aggressive move, I suppose? Anyway, now our destroyer here is obviously playing this very aggressively. Not that he is getting too much support. The majority of the friendly team is deploying on the left side, and the guys here on the right side, they don't want to push, although it's not like the enemy has that many forces here either, I suppose. Now, of course, as a destroyer, being so close to the enemies makes it a lot easier to hit them with torpedoes. And with the very powerful smoke of the Pan-Asians, he has a chance to stay undetected here most of the time. Of course, you can see here an Emil Bertin who is pretty close. If a cruiser with Hydro rushes him, this might be very bad. But right now he is just deploying a new smoke screen and he is once again opening up with those powerful guns. Now there are also some torpedoes on the way. Torpedo reload takes a while here, so let's hope that we can score some hits here. Now it's not looking too good for the friendly team overall ship-wise, but there you go. That's a devastating strike, and that's one less battleship. Now, of course, deep water torpedoes are pretty sneaky. They don't give you a lot of time to react. When they are spotted, you are probably screwed unless you're already well sailing in the right direction. Now it looks like that this Emil Bertin has realized that the destroyer is around, and considering he is charging right this way, I would expect this guy to have Hydro ready. So this might be rather troublesome. There are also some planes incoming, and the smoke is pretty soon going down. So I guess with the smoke disappearing, the presence of Hydro doesn't change that much. Well, of course it gives the cruiser much better chance to avoid torpedoes, but for whatever reason, it looks like so close to the smoke screen, well, the now disappearing smoke screen, the cruiser decided to actually beach himself rather than keep charging in. And well, I haven't seen him using Hydro so far, so I'm a little bit confused. It's possible that the Emil Bertin was just tunnel visioning somewhere and not even realizing he was charging a smoke screen. But anyway, it looks like that worked out. Now there is a friendly destroyer now here helping out. There is also an enemy Fubuki around. And there are some random torpedoes in the water. Now the Fubuki is charging in. Of course the Fubuki thinks he has a ton of support. We are basically in the sent off the enemy team, kind of. So the Fubuki is charging in. Now, unfortunately for the Fubuki, he is currently spotted. He also isn't really a gunboat. And, well, with malachias here unspotted, he can't just pummel that Fubuki. The Fubuki has absolutely no chance to do anything. Now, the Fubuki was getting cold feet, I suppose. He abandoned his charge and went for the smoke screen for some safety. But he took a lot of damage in this, and there comes the Emil. Now, will the Emil this time be able to hide running? He doesn't have to currently because there are planes spotting. There are also some torpedoes coming in from the Fubuki, but malachias expected them. He reversed in advance, and those torpedoes will just pass here harmlessly. He's also going with armor piercing. He has a broadside cruiser to shoot at. Also, I mean, if you're confused why the guns might not have been looking that way and he can shoot an enemy, that's a bug in the replay system. Sometimes the gun positions are wrong. But anyway, looks like the Emil is surviving. Now the Mutsuki is pushing deeper and deeper and is probably going to be hunted down by that Emil. Meanwhile, malachias is retreating a little bit here. Now his smoke would be ready again, so he can use it if needed. And there is the Fubuki. Fubuki was shooting before. Looks like the Fubuki took quite a bit of pummeling and was easily dispatched. Now it's looking pretty bad overall for the team right now. There are 3 friendly battleships still alive. You know what? Let's unlock the camera and check their health. We have a top tier battleship with full health. That's... well, I guess right now he's even the most aggressive right now. The New York took a beating and is probably in retreat right now. And we can't see the Gneisenau from here. Now there are some planes here. This is kind of dangerous. The enemy carrier could just keep malachias spotted here. But it looks like the carrier doesn't bother. He's just spotting him by accidentally. Now he's asking for some anti-air support from his own carrier. Let me see. I can't see... oh, fighter plane is just now launching. Looks like the fighter plane went home to rearm, probably. So let's see if he's sending support, but doesn't look like he needs it, right? The enemy carrier pays no attention to him. He literally spotted him by accident and didn't even bother to keep a plane near here. So meanwhile, the friendly carrier might be able to sink that Budyoni. We will see. There is still the Emil somewhere around here, but he should be on rather low health, and there he is. Now the Emil turns broadside for whatever reason, so malachias is switching to armor piercing. And well, looks like the enemy was a little bit too much angled. So he's going back to a high explosive, and well, I mean, the enemy is burning anyway, so yeah. That's one less cruiser. But it's still 3 versus 5, so not the best odds. And the carrier is currently chasing enemy fighter planes. So that's good. Those fighter planes are on the way here, but maybe the friendly carrier can dispatch them before they bot malachias here. Now there is a Duke of York that's close enough. Might be some potential for an ambush. And well, we just now spotted the Gneisenau. It's possible that the Ranger is still somewhere around here. And well, at this point he could certainly try to go home and help out defend if the enemy there is aggressive. But I mean, he's in a fast ship. If the enemy would really start to capture, I guess he could react. Right now his main focus is obviously the Duke of York. The Duke might not suspect that he's here, and those planes are in a nasty position right there. So he's going with his torpedoes, spreading out a little bit in case the Duke is turning well in or away. Doesn't really matter that much. But if he's slowing and turning, then the second spread here has a higher chance of hitting. And those torpedoes looking pretty good right now. So far the Duke is not paying that much attention, I suppose. And well, I think now he's turning, but this might be already too late. So yeah, it is now 3 versus 4. Definitely winnable. Unfortunately, nobody is spotting for malachias here. Oh, it looks like somebody is. Friendly planes are incoming. Carrier is doing some spotting here, so he can now be inside his smoke and hopefully start some fires at the Gadjah. Now there's still 1 minute left until the torpedoes reload. And smoke will run out before that, so that's certainly something to consider. Now the friendly carrier is also keeping track of... Oh, and he managed to take out the enemy destroyer, so good job from the friendly carrier. That was definitely helpful. Now we still have Gadjah now. Let's take a quick peek. Gadjah now is... looks like he is burning and not that healthy. So not sure how he will fare against the Normandy, but there is the friendly carrier who is already on his way to strike the battleship. Now malachias, well, he is in a pan-Asian ship, so the gap where you don't have smoke is pretty short, so he is deploying some new smoke here. Torpedoes are almost reloaded. The Gadjah now is pretty close. I would expect the Gadjah now to launch torpedoes into the smoke. And so does he, because he's already reversing here. Make it less likely for the Gadjah now to catch him off guard here. Now, well, I was just saying I'm not sure who is providing the spotting, and looks like currently nobody is. So that's a bit unfortunate. The Gadjah now has basically 2 options. He can try to charge the smoke, or he can try to run away. Now, considering that those torpedoes are in the water, if the Gadjah now would charge now, he had a very good chance of sinking malachias. But the Gadjah now didn't know that all torpedoes were launched. So he chose the safer option, I suppose, and he is retreating. Now malachias went for some spotting of his own here for a little bit, and currently I think the planes are providing some spotting here. Now the smoke is disappearing, so he has to start moving, and he is out of smoke screens, so that's unfortunate. But Gadjah now is burning quite nicely, and well, it's 3 versus 2, friendly team is in the lead, so this is looking rather good right now. There are already planes launching from the friendly carrier, so the friendly carrier might just be able to finish off the Gadjah now, or maybe the carrier is going after the enemy carrier, we shall see in a moment. Now the Gadjah now is going away here and will soon be behind an island. Malachias decided to switch here to the Ranger and possibly set a few fires. Now friendly fighter planes are in the air here, and it looks like he's keeping friendly fighter planes near to defend malachias, so I'm actually liking what this carrier is doing here. Now thankfully the Gadjah now positioned himself in a way that he can't actually do anything right now, which means malachias can without any trouble just sit here and farm damage. And again, looks like the Gadjah now reappeared, so he gotta be careful. There might just be some incoming shells pretty soon. There is also incoming friendly strike craft, and let's see who he goes for. Does he go for the carrier or does he go for the Gadjah now? Looks like he is going for the carrier, I suppose. I feel like striking the Gadjah now could have been more profitable, because the Gadjah now is the bigger threat right now. And this carrier seemed to be going down anyway, but there is an enemy drop. And there was a convenient sized gap. So, nicely dodged. Now the carrier is gone, but his planes still linger, so malachias hasn't really much chance of dropping into concealment right now, I suppose. So he is probably just, yeah, he is going to fire the Gadjah now some more. And nice hit from the Gadjah now. Now the Gadjah now doesn't have an easy way of dealing with destroyers, especially if they stay out of secondary range. The Gadjah now just doesn't have an awful lot of guns. And with German accuracy, getting consistent hits on a destroyer is Or rather frustrating for the Gneisenau. And of course the Gneisenau, if you were smart, he would charge right towards the destroyer because he really wants to get into secondary range and he wants to get closer to make it easier for him to secure hits. But I guess the Gneisenau is just content to run away and reduce his chances of doing anything. So, well, meanwhile, malachias started a fire, and I mean, this Gneisenau hasn't much chance of winning this. There are torpedo bombers on the way, and I suspect that if anything, the carrier would finish him off, even if he managed to sink something here. But considering how nicely the Gneisenau is burning, I suppose he's probably going down before the friendly planes arrive. And there is the win. Let's have a look at the results. Malachias earned himself Arsonist Confederate, a devastating strike, a Kraken, first blood and high caliber. He scored 236,000 points of damage and sunk 6 enemies. So rather nicely done by him. It was a nice game. He was in the midst of the enemy team for the majority of the game. And yeah, he just wreaked havoc. So I hope you enjoyed watching that. And I'll see you guys next time.